Hi Taurus. This is the third take. Okay, so there's a lot that needs to be said here. There's a lot of messages for you. Thanks for stopping by. This is September 23rd through the 30th. Weekly Tarot. Okay, so I pulled them all because I just wanted to not take the time flipping them on camera. Autumn. I got 2 oracles, the rest are tarot. So release the old and rest. You have some burdens that you need to release, some habits. Okay. This is something you need to release, not somebody else needs to release. This is something that you're carrying with you through all of your experiences. It's something that is something you don't want to release. It's like this safety thing, but it's skewing everything. It's holding you back. And they're telling me, you know what this is. Release it and rest. Habits, pain, whatever. You can do this. You have to make room for the good things to come in. The guidance, the happiness, the love. Okay, your second oracle card is Sad Embrace Reversed. So it talks about heartache and it talks about pain and things you've been through. But it also talks about you feeling victimized and that you focusing on, why does this always happen to me? Why can't I ever get ahead? Instead of looking at, what do I need to change? They're telling me, and it actually says it in the description of this card, that you're not a victim. And you need to get out of that victim mentality. It actually states that in this card. 4 and 5 or 9, you're almost at the end of the cycle, but you cannot get out of the cycle until you release that victim place that you're at. How do I do that? Good question. Accountability. What was it you didn't want to release? What was it you're blaming on the other person or persons or situations or whatever? What made you the victim? And then do this. Is that something I was doing? How does it reflect on what I was doing? Why did I get that reaction? What was I doing? Okay? Whatever you not finding in someone else is usually what you're not providing, or it's a mirror of what you're doing. And if it happens over and over, then it's not everybody else, Taurus. It's not everybody else. They also state here that these kind of situations help you change, and later in life you'll be grateful for this. You got to start putting it behind you, separating yourself from being the victim, because you're not. Everybody gets hurt, everybody gets burned, but not everybody refuses to change. We do for a while, but it's not about. You have to relinquish the power. You have to release it because it's not serving you. You can't charge through this anymore. You can't. You're just not going to be allowed to. So why does this keep happening? What are you not seeing? The first thing is just release it. Release it and sit in how you feel. Because it seems like you're avoiding it. So by controlling everything, you say, okay, now it's going to be better. But that's a con. That's part of some kind of addictive behavior in itself. The ego. The thinking you can control everything. Yes, you can, but you're not working with the energies. You're working against them. It's like swimming upstream instead of going with the flow. Okay, so now we're going to look at tarot. Now, The good tarot is usually read upright, so I started flipping these around, but all of them came out reversed except one. So I thought that is a statement in itself, so I left it. So here you go. Not liking being single. Don't want to be single. And when you're single, so this could be you, Taurus, or the other party. It could be the opposite party you're dealing with. Could resonate all or in part. But I'm going to speak as of you. There's so many messages. Sorry. So, you know you're this powerful person. But you haven't earned it yet. Okay? The Emperor reversed. You haven't earned the right to be there. And that sounds weird, I know. Because you're not acting like an emperor. Like a good emperor. Okay? This Emperor reversed. This is somebody that doesn't protect other people, that doesn't build empires, that doesn't he's not the master builder, he's a master destroyer. He destroys things, destroys relationships, destroys incomes, destroys, right? Because are you having trouble with your finances? Are you having trouble being single? So you think you have to be in a relationship to make ends meet? You're not empowered. Always feeling like you want to run away from wherever you're at when you are in a relationship, if you are. Or you run from one person to another. Why, Taurus? You keep thinking the next situation will be better. Grass is going to be greener on the next one, or the next one, or the next one, or the next one. Are you tired of that? I think you are, or wouldn't be having this. Everybody you try to, 3 of Earth reversed, 3 of Pentacles reversed. People you try to work with won't work with you. Looks like you can, but then you don't. Why? What changed, Taurus? Did that person change that much? Or once you got there, you didn't want to be there anymore? This is 8 of Swords, upright. This is circular thinking and going, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. Well, it's flipped at least. That's a good sign. Are you starting to see it now? Are you starting to see that you're breaking your own heart? That you're victimizing yourself? Your decisions, your thoughts, your inability to be happy in the moment. You act like you are. You act like you are. But it takes a lot of energy to keep up with all that deception. Especially with yourself. And it's time to find out who you are. It's time to find out why you're doing this. By releasing it, releasing all that burden, all the pain. Just release the pain to begin with. Because I know you're not ready to deal with your side of it yet. Releasing the pain and letting it settle will allow you to start looking at the other information. It needs to be looked at. It's probably a pattern in your family. That's why it seems so automatic, because it is. Okay, we all have been going through this. Okay, so now I'm on the sad embrace side. This is releasing the old pain, right? And the cycles, right? On the sad embrace side, then this is about stop victimizing yourself. Stop suffering over your suffering, or consider it. Okay? First card reversed we have is, oh, I got 2 upright, sorry. First card reverse I have is the 8 of Cups. So this is telling me you want to go back to where you were, somebody you left. Why, if you weren't happy there? Do you really think you could go back there and be happy? So you just keep creating these cycles. And if you've been dating exes, why? Especially if you haven't worked through anything. You go back and you try again without working anything out. Then I have 2 of fire, this 2 of wands reversed. Going down the wrong path, making the wrong choices. Going back to exes. Reliving the old cycles over and over again. Justice reversed, no justice. Right? No balance. No justice. How can anything change if nothing changes? Okay. So, Sad Embrace asks you to know or try to understand that you're not a victim, that this is, you're doing this to yourself by your actions, by your part in this. Because if you had learned from those, what you needed to learn, this cycle would have been over long ago. We all do this. We all do this, Taurus. And sometimes we do and we forget and we do it again after a while. But it feels like this is something that you've been doing, I mean, not like with years in between. How do I explain that? It feels like your cycles are going faster. That's what I mean to say. And I don't know how I know that. But maybe that's why you're feeling victimized so much, right? Okay. So, no justice, taking the wrong road, and going back to the past situations. Now, this also means something else. This also means that you're doing this because of something in your past, something dark in your past that you don't want to face. Releasing and looking at your part in it will help you uncover that. That pain in the past, the trauma of the past. Oh, okay. People of the past, are they coming to you? Or are you going to them? Because if you've been sleeping with your exes for years, there you go. It just kind of came in. Not for everyone, you know, but so that would be a good example of your part in it. Okay. And that would go, if you're still messing with old exes, and whenever they call you, you go, why can't you say no? You know what I mean? There's so much behind that. Just that alone. Other than, if there's something you're not, why are you contacting people from your past? Because you know you'll get the score there? But what do you I don't date my exes, you know? I mean, if I'm still, like, involved, but once we're done, we're done. I mean, it's just bad. It's just bad. Most people don't want to talk about what happened. Most people don't want to fix it. So what's the point? Just reliving the same thing over and over. All right, so you want success. You can have success. You feel like you can't have it, but you can. It's right there. Success, victory, hero's parade. You got to be your own hero. You got to be your own. It's got to start with you. You think somebody's going to do that for you. You know that's not true. It's just not. So, the last card is patience. And this is great. It's about temperance. So, all it takes, really, is to be in the moment. But, and I hear you say, why is that so important? Because you get to feel the emotions instead of diverting it or turning it into anger, or using it to hurt somebody. You see, it actually will it has the ability to heal, okay? And to open up your mind, your heart to more information instead of just deflecting, rejecting. Because when you reject your own emotions, you're rejecting yourself. So how can somebody embrace you if you can't embrace yourself? And that's so simple. I know. A lot of us just figured that out too. But it's it's so basic, right? Patience, temperance, talks about taking the light and the dark of who you are, and having a balance with it, and saying, here's just an example. I know that my exes are going to call me up, but I'm not going to answer the phone because I can't tell them no. So I can just block them, or not answer the phone, or unfriend them. Or if you're the one that contacts them, I'm going to lose their phone number, and I'm going to unfriend them, because I don't want to be tempted to go back there, because that's a mistake. You see, for the person that wants to be in control, like the emperor, you have to be in control. You have to be able to control your thoughts, your actions, your emotions. And it does come down to controlling your emotions, because you're being led. People that when you're on this automatic behavior, you're still being led by emotions you don't want to deal with. That's why you're doing the automatic behavior. Does that make sense? So the people that sit in their emotions that seem weak to you, they're really not. That's how perception changes. Once you slow down and sit and you stop deflecting, it changes the way everything looks. That's what's crazy. Then you say, wow, this moment is so peaceful. Nobody's calling me, nobody's bugging me, nobody's making me feel guilty. And then you start seeing the joy in that, if you can, because it's really worth it. All right, 16 minutes. I hope that made sense. And that was just an example of what I was giving you about the exes. All right, Taurus. I'll give you a couple of Mente cards. Mente Oracle. Why is it so hard right now? Because you're being redirected. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. I mean, I'm going through the same thing. Because you're being redirected to the right path, and you're just fighting it. If you just went with it and said, okay, I'll go, it's a much easier process. Doesn't mean your towers aren't going to fall and you're going to go, okay, here we go again. It's like oh, you just kind of giggle through it, or not giggle through it, but go, take a breath. I trust you. I trust, because you're either going to go hard or you're going to go easy, but you're still going to go. Even the bull's got to go. Okay, I keep my own counsel. Very important. Stop doing what other people said. Stop looking for likes, on Facebook. If that is an addiction in itself, just get off of it for a while. Stop looking for other people's approval. I mean, are you happy? Is it serving you? And there you go. And I would, this is your mind's eye. This is being calm enough to see things clearly from different perspectives, not just from Taurus's perspective of what people will think. They don't think a lot of you right now. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, but if you're doing this cycle and feeling sorry for yourself, they can see it. So, seeking their approval didn't get you a better way of life. Did not get you their better status, Taurus. It just made you easier to manipulate. That's how you're being manipulated. One of the ways. You're allowing yourself to be manipulated. All right, second one is I am kind. You are kind. It's time to be kind to yourself. Being kind to yourself is listening to your emotions. What can I do to make my life easier? Not to fix it. It's not the end. No, it's the moment, because you may have, I mean, I don't know how old you are, or any of you are, but why would you escape this moment in time when it could be so blissful and beautiful? Well, how is that possible? Well, let's figure it out. Because it's easy when you go with the flow. So, I remember when I got these kind of readings where my brain was like I was in this place. It does get better. But if you're asking, how? Why, lady? How? That's the right place to be. That's when you need to just breathe and go, well, it will be revealed. Love you guys. You got this. It's the beginning of your self-discovery and the life you've always wanted. It's beautiful. Even though it doesn't feel that way right now, it is. Take care.